Bullies attack a veteran without knowing his dog is a killer. And what happened next left? In a shocking twist that feels like something out of a gripping action film, a veteran's quiet stroll in the park turns into a heart-pounding showdown. Jean, a man marked by the invisible scars of war, finds himself surrounded by a group of teens who mistake his vulnerability for weakness. These bullies, emboldened by their numbers and a misguided sense of superiority, hurl insults and push him around, unaware that they are about to cross paths with a guardian far more formidable than they could have ever imagined. In that moment, the stakes soar. Jean, grappling with the weight of PTSD, has always relied on his loyal companion, Rex, a Rottweiler trained not just for companionship, but for protection. The tension builds as the group closes in, their laughter echoing through the park, a stark contrast to John's silent struggle. What they don't know is that beneath Rex's calm demeanor lies a fierce protector, ready to spring into action at a moment's notice. This isn't just a story about bullies and bravado. It's a powerful reminder of the hidden battles many veterans face daily. While the bullies see John as an easy target, they fail to recognize the profound bond between a man and his dog, a relationship forged in the fires of hardship and resilience. As Rex enters the scene, the dynamics shift dramatically. He doesn't just react. He embodies the loyalty and strength that John needs in that critical moment. But what happens next is more than just a confrontation. It's a turning point. The incident escalates quickly, with Rex neutralizing the threat without inflicting serious harm, showcasing the delicate balance between protection and aggression. The park becomes a battlefield, not just for John and Rex, but for the very ideals of respect, courage, and the importance of mental health awareness. As the raw footage of this encounter spreads like wildfire across social media, it ignites a firestorm of debate. Opinions clash, and discussions about the treatment of veterans, the role of service animals, and the societal responsibility to protect the vulnerable flood the airwaves. The narrative shifts from a simple act of bullying to a larger conversation about the mental health struggles faced by those who have served. This viral moment becomes a catalyst for change, drawing national attention to issues that are often swept under the rug. John and Rex's story resonates deeply, inspiring others who have faced similar challenges and sparking a movement of support for veterans everywhere. The world begins to see not just a man and his dog, but a symbol of resilience, courage, and the unwavering bond that can exist between humans and their animal guardians. In this unfolding drama, what began as a moment of cruelty transforms into a platform for awareness and change. As we delve deeper into the events that transpired that day, we will explore the emotional toll of bullying, the complexities of PTSD, and the extraordinary bond that not only protects but heals. Join us as we uncover the layers of this poignant story, revealing not just the clash between bullies and a veteran, but the profound impact it has on a community, and perhaps even the nation. The video begins to capture the aftermath of that fateful day in the park, where John and Rex became unlikely heroes in a narrative that transcended a mere confrontation. As the footage circulated, it did not take long for it to reach local news stations, and soon enough, national outlets were covering the story. The headline screamed, "Veteran and his dog stand against bullying," and "A lesson in loyalty. How a canine protector saved the day." Each report added a new layer to the unfolding saga, highlighting not only the bravery displayed in that park, but also the broader implications of what it means to support our veterans. John had never sought the spotlight. In fact, he preferred the quiet solace of his home, where he could unwind with Rex after the chaos of the outside world. Yet, as the phone calls from journalists and news outlets poured in, he realized that sharing his story could help others. "I just want people to understand that we're not alone," John expressed during one of his interviews, a hint of vulnerability in his voice. "There are so many veterans out there who fight battles every day, and sometimes they don't have a Rex by their side." This sentiment struck a chord with viewers. Many began to reach out, sharing their own stories of struggle and resilience. Social media platforms exploded with hashtags like #SupportOurVeterans and #RexTheHero, creating a virtual community united by a common cause. Veterans, supporters, and animal lovers alike joined forces, using John and Rex's story as a rallying cry for mental health awareness and the treatment of those who've served in the military. As the media spotlight intensified, John found himself in a unique position. He had become an ambassador for veterans' rights, advocating for the importance of service animals in treating PTSD. He began to speak at local events and support groups, sharing not just his journey, but also the invaluable role Rex played in his daily life. "He's not just my dog. He's my lifeline," John would assert, often tearing up at the thought of what his life could have been without Rex's unwavering companionship. Meanwhile, the bullies who had once taunted him were now facing their own consequences. The video of the incident had not only gone viral, but it also caught the attention of local authorities. The police launched an investigation into the bullying, reminding the community that actions have repercussions, particularly when it comes to harassment. The teenagers involved were called in for questioning, and, as the local news reported, they were met with a mix of outrage and sympathy from their peers. Some condemned their actions, while others expressed concern for their future, sparking discussions about youth behavior and accountability. In interviews, the parents of the bullies voiced their distress over the situation, some expressing shock at their children's behavior. "I raised my son to be kind and respectful," one mother lamented. "I can't believe he would do something like this." This highlighted the often overlooked reality that bullying doesn't happen in a vacuum. It is a reflection of deeper societal issues that need to be addressed. The incident served as a wake-up call for many, leading to school administrators implementing programs aimed at fostering empathy and understanding among students. As the national conversation grew, so too did the support for John. Veterans organizations across the country began reaching out to him, offering resources and connecting him with others who needed help. He became a beacon of hope for many who felt isolated and forgotten, a voice for those who had been too afraid to speak out about their own struggles. The bond between John and Rex not only symbolized protection, but also a shared journey of healing and recovery. In a powerful move, John decided to dedicate his newfound platform to advocate for legislation that would improve mental health services for veterans. He teamed up with local lawmakers, sharing his story and the story of countless others who had faced similar challenges. "We need to do better for our veterans," he urged during a press conference. "They deserve our support, our understanding, and, most importantly, our compassion." His words resonated deeply, echoing the sentiments of many who had felt overlooked by a system designed to help them. As John continued to share his experiences, Rex remained by his side, a constant reminder of the power of companionship. The once quiet dog had become a symbol of bravery and resilience, captivating hearts everywhere. Local businesses began to support John's cause, sponsoring events to raise awareness and funds for veterans' mental health initiatives. Rex, the Rottweiler, became a local hero, often appearing at community events, bringing smiles to faces and reminding everyone of the profound impact that animals can have on healing. As invitations for interviews and public speaking engagements increased, John found himself in a whirlwind of activity. He was no longer just a veteran struggling with PTSD. He was a spokesperson for change, a symbol of hope within a community that was beginning to rally around him. His journey was shared across platforms, and as he spoke about the importance of mental health, he also emphasized the critical role of service animals. "Rex saved me in more ways than I can describe," he shared during one poignant interview, his eyes welling up with emotion. "He's not just a pet. He's my partner in this fight for healing." The media frenzy surrounding John and Rex's story ultimately served a greater purpose than just highlighting one incident. It opened the door to conversations about mental health, the stigma surrounding PTSD, and the necessity of proper support systems for veterans. The narrative evolved from one of confrontation to one of community healing, showcasing how the bravery of one individual can inspire an entire movement. As the discussion continued to unfold, John found solace in the knowledge that his experience had transformed into a catalyst for positive change. The once silent struggles of many veterans were now being acknowledged, and the importance of companionship, both human and animal, was being celebrated. Together, John and Rex became not just a story of survival, but a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, reminding us that even in the darkest moments, hope can shine through in unexpected ways. As John and Rex's story evolved, the impact reached far beyond their immediate community. National organizations began to take notice, with mental health advocates recognizing the power of their narrative. Discussions around the experiences of veterans, especially those grappling with PTSD, started emerging in various forums, from social media platforms to congressional hearings. The incident in the park, once a painful memory for John, transformed into a pivotal moment in the national discourse on mental health and the critical role of service animals. John received invitations to appear on national talk shows and podcasts, where he shared his experiences in detail. "I never imagined that a day in the park could lead to something so profound," he explained during an interview. "But if sharing my story can help even one person feel less alone, then it's worth it." His candidness resonated with many, as he spoke about the internal battles he faced and the comfort Rex provided during the darkest times. As the discussions expanded, it became clear that the issues surrounding veteran care were systemic. Experts began to weigh in on the inadequacies of mental health services available to veterans, emphasizing the need for comprehensive support systems. John found himself at the center of these conversations, often advocating for better funding for mental health programs, improved access to therapy, and the importance of integrating service animals into treatment plans. "It's not just about surviving. It's about thriving," he said passionately, underscoring the need for a holistic approach to mental health care. The bullies involved in the incident also faced their share of repercussions. As the media spotlight intensified, their actions were scrutinized, leading to discussions about accountability and the ripple effects of bullying. Schools across the nation began to implement anti-bullying programs, educating students about empathy, respect, and the lasting impact of their actions. Parents and educators united in efforts to foster a more compassionate environment, encouraging open dialogues about mental health and the importance of standing against bullying in all its forms. In the weeks that followed, John was invited to speak at schools and community centers, sharing his story with young audiences. "I want you to know that every action has consequences," he reminded them, urging students to think before they act. "We can choose to lift each other up or tear each other down. It's our choice." His words struck a chord, encouraging young people to reflect on their behavior and the importance of kindness in their interactions. Rex, meanwhile, became a beloved figure within the community. Local businesses began to feature him in promotional campaigns, showcasing the incredible bond between John and his canine companion. Rex's gentle nature and protective instincts captured the hearts of many, and he soon became a symbol of hope and resilience for those who faced mental health challenges. Community events began to feature Rex prominently, raising funds for veterans organizations and animal support initiatives alike. In a heartwarming gesture, local schools organized fundraising walks, with proceeds going to veteran support programs. Families and children participated, often bringing their pets along, creating a sense of unity and shared purpose. "We're all in this together," one teacher remarked, highlighting the community's commitment to supporting veterans and promoting mental health awareness. As John continued to share his journey, he received messages from veterans across the country, each one sharing their own struggles and triumphs. Many expressed gratitude for his willingness to speak out, feeling emboldened to share their own stories. "I thought I was alone in this fight," one veteran wrote. "Seeing you and Rex gave me hope." This sense of connection motivated John to keep pushing forward, reminding him that his experience could inspire others to seek help and find their own paths to healing. In the midst of this growing movement, John began collaborating with mental health professionals to develop workshops focused on the benefits of service animals for veterans. These workshops aim to educate others about the profound impact that trained animals can have on emotional well-being, providing veterans with tools to manage their PTSD. "Rex is my anchor," John often stated, emphasizing the crucial role of service animals in fostering stability and resilience. The partnership with mental health experts led to significant breakthroughs in understanding the therapeutic benefits of animal companionship. Research studies began to emerge, highlighting the positive effects of animal-assisted therapy, in treating PTSD and anxiety. As these findings gained traction, the narrative surrounding service animals shifted from merely a personal story to a recognized approach in mental health care. As the movement grew, John was invited to Washington, D.C., to meet with lawmakers and advocate for policy changes that would enhance mental health services for veterans. "We need to ensure that every veteran has access to the support they deserve," he declared during a meeting with congressional representatives. His efforts highlighted the critical need for systemic change, and many lawmakers expressed their commitment to addressing these issues. John's advocacy work also inspired the creation of resource guides for veterans, outlining available support systems, mental health services, and information about service animals. These guides aim to empower veterans, informing them of their rights and the resources at their disposal. Knowledge is power, John emphasized, recognizing that many veterans were unaware of the help available to them. As the movement continued to gain momentum, John and Rex became symbols of hope and change, not only for veterans but for everyone facing mental health challenges. The bond they shared served as a powerful reminder of the importance of companionship and understanding in the healing process. The narrative had shifted from one of isolation and struggle to a story of resilience, community support, and the strength found in vulnerability. As John reflected on the journey, he often thought back to that fateful day in the park. What began as a moment of cruelty had transformed into a powerful catalyst for change, awakening a collective consciousness about the struggles faced by veterans and the invaluable role of service animals. "We are stronger together," he would remind audiences, emphasizing the importance of support and understanding in navigating the complexities of mental health. In the end, John and Rex's story became more than just a viral moment. It was a movement that inspired countless others to stand up against bullying, advocate for mental health, and recognize the profound impact of companionship. Their journey served as a beacon of hope, illuminating the path toward healing and resilience for all those who felt lost in their struggles. As the community rallied behind them, John knew that together, they could create a world where every veteran felt supported, valued, and understood. As the community rallied behind them, John knew that together, they could create a world where every veteran felt supported, valued, and understood. The journey of John and Rex had transcended the bounds of a singular incident. It had blossomed into a nationwide conversation about the complexities of mental health and the essential role of service animals. This realization fueled John's passion, motivating him to dedicate himself further to advocacy work. In the months following the incident, John became a familiar face at various veterans events and mental health summits. His story resonated with many, creating a bridge of empathy and understanding that had previously been missing in conversations about PTSD and the struggles faced by those who have served. He often shared his experiences, explaining how Rex had not only provided companionship, but had also offered him a sense of purpose. "Rex doesn't just help me cope. He gives me a reason to keep moving forward," John would say, his eyes filled with gratitude and determination. The bond between John and Rex became a focal point of many discussions, illustrating how animals can provide emotional support that is often beyond words. Mental health professionals began to incorporate more discussions about the benefits of service dogs into their practices, encouraging veterans to consider how a trained companion could significantly enhance their quality of life. Workshops and seminars were organized, showcasing animal-assisted therapy and educating veterans about the process of training and acquiring service animals. These events fostered a sense of community among participants, many of whom were meeting others who understood their struggles for the first time. As John continued his advocacy, he found that the conversation was evolving. People were no longer just discussing the incident. They were diving deeper into the root causes of bullying, the systemic issues surrounding mental health support for veterans, and how society could collectively work to create a more compassionate environment. Schools began implementing programs that encouraged empathy and respect among students, aiming to prevent bullying before it started. John often participated in these school programs, sharing his story with young audiences, hoping to instill in them the importance of kindness. "You have the power to make someone's day better or worse. Choose wisely," he would say, encouraging students to reflect on their behavior and the impact it could have on others. The national media continued to cover John and Rex's journey, helping to sustain momentum for the movement they had inadvertently sparked. News segments highlighted their work, featuring interviews with John, where he articulated the need for improved mental health services for veterans. His heartfelt messages were solidified by Rex's gentle presence, often seen by his side, patiently listening as John shared his story. The visual of the two together became a powerful symbol of hope, reminding viewers of the resilience displayed by both man and dog. As discussions surrounding veteran care gained traction, legislative measures began to take shape. John found himself in discussions with lawmakers who were eager to address the gaps in support services. Together, they brainstormed policies that would allocate funding for mental health programs specifically designed for veterans and improve access to therapy and support services. We need to ensure that no veteran feels alone in their struggle, John emphasized during meetings, his passion evident as he fought for the rights of those who had served. The ripple effects of John and Rex's story reached various corners of the United States. Nonprofit organizations dedicated to veteran support began to flourish, driven by the growing awareness of the challenges faced by those with PTSD. Fundraising events were held, with proceeds directed toward programs that provided therapy, support groups, and service animal training. John often attended these events, sharing his story and advocating for continued support for veterans. Every dollar counts, he would say, reminding attendees that their contributions could make a significant difference in someone's life. Rex, meanwhile, continued to be the embodiment of unwavering support. His gentle demeanor and intuitive nature made him a favorite among those in the community. As the demand for service animals grew, local organizations began to offer training programs, connecting veterans with the resources they needed to secure their own companions. John often lent his expertise, sharing tips and insights from his own experiences with Rex. It's not just about having a dog. It's about finding the right match for your needs, he would explain, emphasizing the importance of the bond between a veteran and their service animal. As the movement gained momentum, John realized that the impact of his story was only just beginning to unfold. Inspired by the outpouring of support, he decided to write a book chronicling his journey with Rex, detailing not only the challenges of living with PTSD, but also the transformative power of companionship. I want people to understand that healing is possible, he shared during a book signing event, his voice filled with hope. It's not just about surviving. It's about finding joy in the little things, and my joy is Rex. The book quickly gained popularity, resonating with readers from all walks of life. Its raw honesty and heartfelt anecdotes struck a chord, leading to discussions about mental health, resilience, and the profound bond between humans and animals. The conversations that ensued were not only healing for John, but also provided a platform for others to share their stories, creating a tapestry of experiences that highlighted the universal struggle with mental health. As John and Rex's narrative continued to evolve, it became clear that their story was part of a larger movement, a movement that sought to dismantle stigma and foster understanding. The dialogue surrounding the treatment of veterans, the importance of mental health care, and the support of service animals became intertwined, creating a rich conversation that resonated across the nation. Each event and discussion brought new voices to the forefront, allowing others to share their own experiences with bullying, PTSD, and the healing power of companionship. In a particularly poignant moment, John was invited to speak at a national veterans conference. As he took the stage, he felt a mix of nerves and excitement. The audience was filled with veterans, families, and advocates, all eager to hear his story. I stand before you today, not just as a veteran, but as someone who has walked through the darkness and found light, he began, his voice steady and clear. My journey with Rex has taught me that we are stronger together, and that healing is a shared experience. The crowd erupted in applause, a testament to the connection that had formed between John and those who understood the weight of his words. As the applause faded, John shared stories of resilience, emphasizing the importance of community and support. We cannot underestimate the power of empathy, he said, urging the audience to reach out to one another and foster connections. Together, we can create a culture of understanding, where no veteran feels alone in their struggle. The room was filled with emotion, and many in the audience found themselves reflecting on their own journeys, inspired by John's courage to share his. In the months that followed, John and Rex continued to be at the forefront of advocacy efforts. Their story became a beacon of hope, illuminating the path for others navigating the complexities of mental health. The bond they shared became a powerful symbol of resilience, reminding everyone that healing is not a solitary endeavor. It is a journey best traveled together. As they walked through life side by side, John understood that every day was a new opportunity to inspire change, to advocate for those who felt unheard, and to ensure that the struggles of veterans were brought into the light. With Rex by his side, he felt empowered to continue the fight, one paw, one step at a time. Together, they would forge a path toward a brighter future, one where compassion, understanding, and support reign supreme. As they walked through life side by side, John understood that every day was a new opportunity to inspire change, to advocate for those who felt unheard, and to ensure that the struggles of veterans were brought into the light. With Rex by his side, he felt empowered to continue the fight, one paw, one step at a time. Together, they would forge a path toward a brighter future, one where compassion, understanding, and support reign supreme. In the heart of their community, John and Rex became symbols of resilience and hope. Local schools began inviting them to participate in assemblies, where John would share his story and Rex would charm the audience with his gentle demeanor. The children adored Rex, often rushing to pet him after the presentations, and John took the opportunity to teach them about kindness and empathy. "You have the power to make a difference in someone's life," he would say, looking into the eyes of the young audience. Sometimes a simple act of kindness can change the course of someone's day, or even their life. The impact of these interactions was profound. Students began to internalize the messages of empathy and support, and many started their own initiatives to promote kindness within their schools. Anti-bullying campaigns sprouted, with students creating posters, organizing kindness weeks, and even starting peer support groups. John watched with pride as these young advocates took the lessons he and Rex imparted and turned them into action. "This is what it's all about," he thought to himself, feeling that the work they were doing was creating a ripple effect that would extend far beyond their immediate community. As the school year progressed, John was thrilled to see the change in the students. The conversations surrounding mental health began to shift, with more and more young people feeling comfortable sharing their own experiences. "It's okay to talk about how you feel," John would remind them. "We all have our battles, and it's important to support each other." The openness inspired a culture of acceptance, where vulnerability was no longer seen as a weakness, but rather as a strength. Meanwhile, John's advocacy work was gaining traction beyond the schools. He partnered with local businesses to host community events that raised funds for veterans' mental health programs. These events were not only about fundraising, but also served as opportunities for education and awareness. John would share his story, while local mental health professionals provided resources and information about available support services. "Together, we can create a network of support," he emphasized, encouraging attendees to connect with one another and seek help if needed. As the community rallied around these initiatives, John saw firsthand the power of collective action. People came together, united by a shared purpose, and the support for veterans began to grow. Local government officials took notice, and discussions about policy changes started to emerge. John was invited to speak at town hall meetings, where he advocated for improved mental health resources and the integration of service animals into treatment plans for veterans. "We need to recognize the unique challenges our veterans face and ensure that they have access to the support they deserve," he urged, his voice steady and passionate. The attention surrounding John and Rex's story also caught the eye of national organizations focused on veterans' rights. They reached out to collaborate, amplifying the message that mental health care for veterans is a critical issue that needs immediate attention. John found himself in discussions with leaders who were eager to address the gaps in services and advocate for systemic changes. "This is a moment of momentum," he realized, recognizing that their story had the potential to spark nationwide conversations about mental health and veteran support. As the movement continued to grow, John and Rex were featured in various media outlets, sharing their journey with an even wider audience. John's heartfelt messages resonated with many, and he began to receive invitations to speak at conferences and workshops across the country. "I never imagined my story would reach so many people," he reflected during one interview. "But if it can help someone feel less alone, then it's worth every moment." Throughout this whirlwind of activity, Rex remained John's steadfast companion. The dog had become a beloved figure, not just in their community, but on a national scale. He was often seen in photographs accompanying John, a symbol of loyalty and protection. People would approach John to share how Rex had inspired them or provided comfort during their struggles. The bond between man and dog had transcended their personal journey, becoming a source of inspiration for others facing their own challenges. In one particularly moving encounter, John met a young veteran who had recently returned from service and was struggling with PTSD. The young man approached John after a speaking engagement, tears in his eyes. "I thought I was alone," he confessed, his voice trembling. "Hearing your story makes me feel like there's hope." John reached out and placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "You're not alone," he said firmly. "There are people who care, and there is help available. You just have to take the first step." This connection reaffirmed John's purpose, reminding him of the importance of sharing their story and advocating for those who felt lost. As the years passed, John and Rex continued to be champions for change, working tirelessly to destigmatize mental health struggles and promote the invaluable role of service animals. Their efforts led to significant improvements in local veteran services, including increased funding for mental health programs and enhanced training for service animals. "This is just the beginning," John said during a community gathering, his eyes shining with determination. "Together, we can build a future where every veteran has access to the care they need." In the midst of this journey, John often reflected on how far he and Rex had come since that fateful day in the park. What began as an incident of bullying had transformed into a powerful movement, inspiring countless others to stand up for veterans and advocate for mental health awareness. Their story had ignited a fire within the community, fostering a culture of compassion and understanding that reached far beyond their own experiences. As they walked together through their neighborhood, Rex by his side, John felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey they had embarked upon. He had turned his pain into purpose, and in doing so, had created a legacy of hope for future generations. The bond they shared was a testament to the healing power of companionship, reminding everyone that no one should have to face their battles alone. With each passing day, John and Rex continued to inspire others, proving that even in the darkest of times, there is light to be found in the connections we create. Their journey was a reminder that resilience is not just about enduring hardship. It's about rising together, supporting one another, and creating a world where kindness reigns supreme. Together, they would keep advocating for change, ensuring that every veteran felt valued, supported, and understood. As they took their next steps forward, John knew that with Rex by his side, they could face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their mission to spread hope and compassion wherever they went. As they took their next steps forward, John knew that with Rex by his side, they could face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their mission to spread hope and compassion wherever they went. The journey they had embarked on was not just theirs. It was a collective endeavor that involved the entire community, a tapestry woven from the threads of shared experiences, empathy, and a commitment to making a difference. In this evolving narrative, John and Rex became symbols of resilience, and their story inspired others to join the cause. They found themselves surrounded by a growing coalition of advocates, veterans, mental health professionals, and community leaders who shared a common goal: to foster a culture of understanding and support for those grappling with mental health issues. The conversations sparked by their experience began to permeate various facets of society, influencing school programs, workplace initiatives, and even local government policies. John often reflected on the profound impact that their story had on the community. It was no longer just about one incident. It had blossomed into a movement that resonated with people from all walks of life. Schools began incorporating mental health awareness into their curricula, teaching students about the importance of empathy, kindness, and standing up against bullying. Education is the key to change, John would remind educators during workshops. By instilling these values in our youth, we are shaping a more compassionate future. As the advocacy efforts gained momentum, John and Rex participated in numerous events aimed at raising awareness for mental health issues. They attended charity runs, community fairs, and educational seminars, sharing their story wherever they went. Each time they spoke, they connected with individuals who found solace in their words. "You never know who might be listening," John often said, emphasizing the importance of reaching out to those who might feel isolated or unheard. Alongside these efforts, John also started collaborating with mental health professionals to develop resources tailored specifically for veterans. This included guides on coping strategies, information about service animals, and pathways to accessing mental health care. "Knowledge is empowering," John asserted during a meeting with a local health organization. "We need to ensure that every veteran knows that help is available and that they are not alone in their struggles." Through workshops and seminars, veterans began to discover the profound benefits of service animals like Rex. Many shared their own stories of struggle, mirroring John's journey, and found comfort in the realization that they were not alone. "It's incredible to see how our community is coming together," John remarked during one particularly moving session, where veterans shared their experiences with PTSD and the healing power of their own service animals. "This is what it means to support one another." As the advocacy movement expanded, it caught the attention of national organizations dedicated to veterans' rights. They reached out to John, recognizing the potential for a broader campaign that could influence policies at higher levels. John began collaborating with these organizations, participating in discussions that aim to address veterans' mental health on a legislative scale. "We have a unique opportunity here," he expressed during one meeting. "Let's use our voices to ensure that every veteran has access to the care they deserve." The momentum built steadily, and soon, John found himself testifying before government committees, advocating for improved mental health resources and policies that would protect and support veterans. "This isn't just about me or Rex. It's about every veteran who has ever felt lost in their battle," he stated passionately, his voice resonating with the audience. "We owe it to them to fight for the services they need and the recognition they deserve." Throughout this journey, Rex remained by John's side, a constant source of comfort and strength. The bond they shared became a focal point of countless discussions about the importance of companionship and healing. Rex's gentle nature and unwavering loyalty served as a reminder of the healing power of love, and he quickly became a beloved figure in the advocacy movement. At events, children would rush to pet him, and adults would share their own stories about the pets that had helped them through tough times. John often found himself moved by these interactions, witnessing firsthand the ripple effect of their journey. As the movement continued to grow, John and Rex became recognized figures in the national conversation about mental health and veterans' rights. They appeared on talk shows, in documentaries, and in articles that highlighted the importance of service animals in mental health recovery. "It's remarkable how this story has taken on a life of its own," John reflected during one interview. "What started as a painful experience has evolved into a powerful message of hope and resilience." The conversation surrounding mental health began to shift, with more people feeling empowered to share their own struggles. John received messages from individuals who had been inspired by his story, many expressing gratitude for his willingness to speak out and advocate for change. "Your story helped me find the courage to seek help," one veteran wrote, echoing sentiments that John had heard from many others. "Thank you for showing me that I'm not alone." These messages fueled John's passion, reminding him of the importance of sharing their story. "If we can help even one person feel less alone, then it's worth it," he would say, reaffirming his commitment to advocacy. Each message served as a testament to the impact of their journey, reinforcing the notion that vulnerability can lead to healing and connection. In a particularly touching moment, John was invited to a local high school to speak about mental health. After his presentation, a student approached him, visibly moved. "I didn't know it was okay to talk about how I feel," she admitted, her voice trembling. "Hearing your story made me realize that I'm not alone." John felt a surge of emotion as he listened to her words. "You have the power to change the narrative," he encouraged her, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Your voice matters, and it's important to share your story." As the years passed, John and Rex's journey became a testament to the power of community, compassion, and understanding. They had sparked a movement that transcended their individual experiences, creating a culture of support for veterans and mental health awareness. Their story became a beacon of hope, illuminating the path for others who felt lost in their struggles. With each passing day, John remained committed to advocating for change. He knew that the work was far from over, and that there were still many battles to be fought. But with Rex by his side, he felt empowered to continue the fight, one step at a time. Together, they would keep spreading their message of hope, resilience, and the importance of support, reminding everyone that healing is possible when we come together as a community. As they walked hand in paw through the neighborhood, John reflected on the incredible journey they had undertaken. What began as a moment of cruelty had transformed into a powerful movement, inspiring countless others to stand up for veterans and advocate for mental health awareness. Their story became a reminder of the strength that exists in vulnerability and the profound impact that companionship can have on healing. Looking ahead, John knew that the path would continue to unfold in unexpected ways. With Rex by his side, he felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their mission to create a world where every veteran felt valued, supported, and understood. Together, they would continue to inspire change, foster connections, and ensure that no one had to walk their journey alone. The bond they shared was not just a personal story. It was a testament to the enduring power of love, resilience, and the belief that together they could make a difference.